Hello, today I'm going to show you a new IP camera. It's a newer model that has made it on the market. It's a full HD IP camera. It also has two-way audio. It has a microphone and also built-in speaker. You can use this as a walkie-talkie, kind of walkie-talkie. You can control it with a smartphone. You can talk on the smartphone and someone will hear you from the camera, and you can also listen to the camera when you are away. So it has a 2 megapixel sensor, and it also has a PTZ system, a pan, tilt and zoom. Well, this camera does not have zoom. PTZ was and is a protocol for cameras that defines its movement and functions. Panning, tilting and zooming. Zoom cameras are a lot more expensive as they use optical motor and lenses to make it possible to have zoom. So this one only has pan and tilt function but does not have zoom. So in the box you'll get a CD, probably with an application for it. It's the power adapter. It only comes with two plugs, American style. You can buy an adapter. This one, it's a full range voltage. It can work from 100 to 240 volts. And output is 5 volts and 1.5 amperes. Has a small patch cable. This is a support for the camera. You can mount it on the ceiling, you can mount it on a wall. Okay. Wireless antenna. This is something that fell off during transport. Screws for fixing it. And the camera. It has infrared lights for night vision. It also has alarm jack. You can connect this to an alarm system, so when the alarm is triggered the camera will start recording, or you can use this as a sensor for an existing alarm system. When this detects motion, it can transmit a trigger for the alarm system to start. Here you can insert an SD card. This camera can record on the card. It has a loop mode function. It will delete all the recordings and replace them with new recordings. It has a Wi-Fi plug for the antenna. You can connect it to the LAN, power, reset, and it also has input and output for audio, although it has also internal audio with microphone and speaker. So I'm going to plug this to the computer in a moment, and we'll try to configure it and see how it works. So I am back with the camera, and I have prepared some additional things that we will need to make it work. I'm going to use a router and a laptop. I'm going to connect the camera with a patch cord first. The camera also has wireless, but it needs to be configured to connect to your wireless network. So first you'll need to connect it with a LAN cable to a router or directly to your computer. I prefer to connect it to a router because the camera will have a IP, and it's a lot easier to find its IP using a router. You can optionally use a special program that detects the camera IP. There are several free applications on the internet to do this, but I prefer to use a router, find its IP, connect to the camera and then configure it. So I'm going to use the LAN port of the router. I'm going to connect also the laptop to this router in just a moment. I have also bought a little adapter for European type of plug to plug in the camera. I'm gonna connect it right now. And power. I'm going to also install the wireless antenna. Alright. The laptop detected the network connection, the LAN connection. This means that I can now connect to the router. So I have connected the camera with the router and the router with the laptop. Now I'm going to access the router to find the camera's IP. The router has a default IP something like 192.168. In this case it's 2.1. I'm going to log in to the router and I'm on its interface. This is the router. Somewhere here we will have a list of connected devices. On this particular model we will go to DHCP settings and at client list we can see this is the laptop PC, and this named IPC, it's probably IP camera. It has a starting IP which is 2.101. So if we open a new tab and we will insert the found IP 2.101, we are requested the password, which is, let's see, it's written on the camera as a default settings. Alright, so we have connected to the camera. If we go to setup, we have access to the camera menu. From here we can first set up the network. We can set up the camera Wi-Fi. The camera automatically detects a list of networks that are around. So I can connect to my network, and we need to enable here the Wi-Fi, and we'll insert the key. We also need to set up the encryption, and we can save the connection. The camera will now connect to the Wi-Fi and we can disconnect it from the LAN cable. So in the menu you have a lot of settings. Time, it can be synchronized over NTP. You got settings about pan and tilt, how fast it will go. If you want to disable motion detection when the camera is using panning or tilting commands, you can turn on or off status LEDs. You can see it has LEDs in front, one red, the other one is blue. You have also multiple settings, but I do not know what this is. First device, second device, we'll see about them. Maintenance, reboot, upgrades. Okay, further, let's see, system, it's network, it's the IP settings. I recommend you disabling the DHCP settings and set a fixed IP, because you will need to do port forwarding, and in the case of a power failure, if the camera reboots and it has this option enabled, it will start maybe with another IP, and if you use port forwarding for accessing the camera from the internet, we will not be able to connect to it anymore if it does not have a fixed IP. Alright, this is the port settings. Wi-Fi settings, you have already seen this. UPnP, you can set this up so you will not need to enable port forwarding, but you also need to have a router that supports this. Dynamic DNS, also RTSP, OnVIF if you have a recorder. You can also upload videos or files to a FTP server, and also you can receive email alerts. Video settings, you have resolution, bitrate, you got multiple streams, you have second stream and even third stream when you are accessing the camera from your mobile phone using 3G data. You can access a lower bitrate stream to have better performance. You have audio settings, the volume for the speaker and for the microphone, image settings, OST, options for night vision, security, you can set the password and users, IP filtering, you can mask some areas also. You'll notice that I have this here and this plugin is not supported. It seems that this camera will not work with Google Chrome nor with Firefox. It uses ActiveX, which is only available on Internet Explorer. I hope that this camera will work with mobile phone, Android mobile phone. You have alarm settings for motion detection, audio detection. You can set up predefined actions to trigger the speaker, to record, to send an email. You can set also when the camera will be active for alerts and when not. Got options for storage. You can see how much space you have on a SD card. The camera does not have an SD card inserted right now. It also has a log. See that I have logged in and I have modified the Wi-Fi settings, and on local configuration I have you can record to a folder. Alright, so I will close the Google Chrome and I will open an Internet Explorer to see some videos from it. So I have opened the Internet Explorer. Now I'm going to click on live video and see if it works, and we have image. Here are the controls for pan and tilt, and you can see the camera is working. You can save presets for defined positions. You can call them, resume the commands. I'm going to later insert an SD card on the camera and take some videos with it, and I will upload them directly to see the image quality for the sensor and its full resolution. So this is it. This is a camera. You can see it right now tilting, panning. Now it's panning. You can also see it tilting. Right. Now I'm going to see if we get an application for Android and see if we can connect to the camera and how hard that is. So I'm with the mobile. I did some research first. The camera uses an application called iSmart View Pro. I have already installed it. I'm gonna open it. I have an option to add a new camera. You can add a camera by the ID and password. The camera ID is written on the camera, or you have options to scan a QR code that it's printed on the camera. I will scan it for you, just a moment. Okay, and now I'm going to insert the password for the camera. And the camera is now added on the list. You can also see here it has a snapshot of the image from the camera. If I move the camera around, the image will change. So if I click on this, I get the image from the camera. I can rotate the image and have a full screen. I can control it with drag. This is the panning action. I can also tilt the camera. So this can be used with Android with no problems, although it cannot be used right out of the box with only with Internet Explorer. There are some plugins that can be installed for Firefox or Chrome to display image. I will search one of them and see how it works. You can also use the camera to talk or listen to it. If I set this, let me increase the volume. You can now hear me talking in the phone. Also, you can hear me on the camera. It has a delay, but you can. I hope you can listen to it. Also has an option to make it reversed. You can talk on the camera and you will hear it on the phone. You can enable both of them and use it as intercom, and probably will make some strange noises now. Let's see. No, it just has an echo, so it's working. You can adjust the brightness of the image, contrast, and you have access to some settings like night vision and so on. You can also set alerts, use the phone as a remote. When you are leaving home, for example, you can enable email alert. When you arrive at home, you can disable it. So this is the camera. This is a quick, let's call it, tutorial how to install it. I'm open for your questions, and I will try to help you configuring this kind of camera. Bye bye.